to centrally coordinate all marketing intelligence, monitor international affairs, and technological changes to the best advantage of the state. Next. Some of the services that we offer for a fee of less than 1% and 0.875 to be exact are the following. So together, the producer and ourselves, we engage in the negotiation process in terms of sales contracts with our customers overseas. And so we prepare those contracts, and we engaged in the negotiation process. We do all the export documentation for you, and also do the clearance through other regulatory authorities. We do mineral evaluation, so where there's need to do mineral evaluation, and in most cases, all minerals, in terms of assaying, the corporation needs to know the quality, the grade of the minerals that we are exporting. Again, this is an area where underhand dealings are suspected to occur. And this is why we get very close to the operations to make sure that the quality that we declare is indeed the quality that would have been produced at that particular moment. We provide advisory services on mineral sorting and grading. Obviously, this is to do in our marketing function. One of the most important things is to make sure that you present your product in a manner that then fetches the best value in the export market. And in a number of cases, we are involved in that aspect. We do market research. The corporation has got about 100 men and women whose job it is to make sure that they are scanning, the market environment, looking at niche markets, looking at opportunities, looking at pricing, issues. So that's a very key role of the corporation. Provision of production and marketing information to any stakeholder. Obviously, the chamber, we work very closely with the chamber and other institutions that require information for various reasons. And the corporation has got all the information since inception. So if anyone wants that information, you can get it so that you can see from where we are coming in our journey since 1983. I'm sorry that this is really too busy, but what we're trying to show there, I will show it in a graph. Basically, where we are coming from since 2013, and what we did in all minerals, excluding gold and silver. So last year, for instance, the total sales value was just over 1.5 billion, right? And 2018, we're now looking at just over 1.671 billion US dollars, which is consistent with what the chamber have been talking about, almost a 6% or so growth in terms of sales. And this has largely been driven by an increase in chrome, both chrome ore and high carbon ferrochrome. We've seen phenomenal growth in those areas. And also the PGMs, we've seen, at least a lot of growth there. And coal, is coming on board. I think we can move on to the next. This graph here is talking to those figures. Basically, that's where we are coming from. And in blue there is your quantity, and then the value is in yellow, I think that's yellow, or orange. Right, but this is what we are focusing for 2018. So we are seeing a steady growth in terms of our sales. And it is our hope that after this conference, the conference will have managed to excite many of you to invest in this sector so that outside gold, we hit the 2 billion, the other minerals combined. That's our hope. You're saying 5 minutes, but I'm almost there. Right, next slide. Those are our projections. For 2018, I think we have almost indicated there where we think the growth is going to come from. Diamonds, we did very little in 2017. And in 2018, we expect that giant to have woken up. And so we are very excited. And then chrome ore, high carbon ferrochrome, and the PGM. So those are the areas where we see growth. But certainly we would welcome, as a corporation, investment in other areas so that we can turn them into yellow. Next slide. Areas of possible cooperation with MMCZ. We are looking as MMCZ and other stakeholders for investors who can assist us in setting up a cut and polished diamond certification laboratory in the country, because our diamonds, once we have cut them and polished them, we need them to be certified so that they can be recognized internationally, so that we can fetch fair value. Chrome ore mining and smelting, the corporation has got over 1,000 hectares of chrome claims in its own name, and these are largely alluvial, and obviously we welcome those interested in teaming up with us so that we can exploit that resource. And there's nothing also to stop us from coming up with our own smelter. Some people disagree. But as MMCZ, we think it's a possibility. Processing of refractory gold ores. We are currently engaged in a process where we are trying to identify a technical partner to team up with us so that we can have a plant in the Kwekwe, the Midlands area, so that we can process the difficult refractory gold ores. And therefore, to investors here, or potential investors, that's an area where there are a number of mines in those areas that are closed, and maybe some deposits in those areas again that could not be exploited because there was no such facility. It is our hope that by year end, we'll have a plant up and running to process those ores. Other projects, again, for you investors, now it's 2 minutes, and I've got 2 points there. Way bridges, the corporation is involved at the moment in establishing way bridges, particularly rail, again, so that we're able to account for the minerals that go outside the country. In terms of road, way bridges, the corporation, through the Ministry of Mines and Mining Development, is engaging the Ministry of Transport so that we can assist in terms of upgrading, the software on those way bridges. And we hope that during the course of the year, those will be up and running. And also, the corporation is funding a government mineral assay laboratory, again for the accounting purposes, just so that everyone is very clear what grade of minerals or what quality of minerals will be leaving the country. This I will not, because now I don't have time, but basically the corporation has been involved in a number of initiatives that were aimed at enhancing value addition and beneficiation in the diamond sector, in the granite sector, and we were also instrumental in the setting up of a company called Apple Bridge, which is a special purpose vehicle whose main aim really is to consolidate chrome ores from small-scale miners. I think next slide. So there are many opportunities that we see, ladies and gentlemen, in the sector, in the asbestos, in lithium, chromium sector. And in conclusion, the corporation, in conclusion, the corporation is ready to provide marketing and selling services to the mining sector, particularly given the much anticipated growth under the new dispensation. I thank you.